Hey, beautiful friends. This is Sarah Blumenfeld with Networking Done Different and Outreach of and Invitation to More.com. This is a special series highlighting the service providers and vendors for the Galveston Metaphysical and Healing Fair at the Galveston Convention Center on April 6th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. I'm joined with Cherokee Lightsky, where Angels Tread is her business. And she's going to tell us what she's offering at the fair. Hi, Cherokee.
Hello. Thank you for having me, Sarah. It's a pleasure.
My pleasure as well.
I don't know exactly what it's called. Everybody says oracle readings, card reading, different things. I've never really named it. I do my readings I strictly hear and get visions from my spirit guides and my guardian angels. I believe my gift comes from the white light of God. I don't deal with darkness at all. I believe that I'm on a mission from God, or the Great Spirit, as I call him sometimes. But I offer readings, and I touch on the what you need to know, what's in your highest good or best interest. I can't give you every answer that you want. I'll give you the message that you're supposed to receive. And sometimes loved ones come in and they have messages for you as well. So, and I do use cards, but I only use those for confirmation. I use them, I put them out. Sometimes I let the person choose the deck they want to use. Sometimes I'm told to use a certain deck, and I lay those out, I shuffle them, and allow them to choose the number I'm being told for them to choose. And usually the cards confirm whatever I've already told them, it just amazes me all the time. So I'm always in awe. Everything that I get, I remember things from the time around the age of 5 or 6 years old, but I didn't understand. And even though that my grandmother had abilities, she was procrastinated when she used them, so she wouldn't talk about them or use them. Okay. My mother is a healer. My children all exhibit signs of having abilities. Not all of them use them. Okay. I have some grandchildren that exhibit, especially my oldest grandson that lives with me. He's actually working on his abilities now, and he's a psychic. I don't like the word psychic. He's lightworker medium as well. And but that's kind of what I do. And I didn't start actually doing readings and stuff until about 10 years ago when I met my mentor. And the first thing she asked me, I'd never had a reading before. I was very skeptical, went to a psychic fair, and because my mother wanted to go. And I kept walking around. And as soon as I sit down with this lady, she said, I was wondering when you were going to come to me. I knew you were supposed to. And first thing she asked me, why are you not using your gifts? Which I don't call them gifts. I call them abilities, because sometimes I'm not sure some of the information I get is really a gift. I guess it is, but sometimes it takes me aback. So that's why I call them abilities. And ever since then, I've just ran with it, and I've developed, being able to give people messages. Sometimes, like I said, their loved ones may or may not come in. I've also I'm with a group out of Arizona, and I'm also doing some on my personal side. I've been helping look for missing people. And so I've been involved in some missing person cases, and I've helped with the group I'm with. I've helped locate some people. One right now, they've located remains, but we're waiting on the information to see if it's the person we were looking for. And then personally, I'm involved with a case out of Oklahoma. I'm out of Texas, and we're working on that. And I was just contacted by a lady, and she's with a group that has the dogs and everything that goes out looking, and she's wanting me to come out and help them locate someone. So I just don't know which direction they're going to pull me in, but whatever plan the Great Spirit of God has for me, hey, I'm ready to go.
You're all in, eh?
I am. I'm humble, and I know He has a plan, and whatever it is, because I've asked Him from the very beginning, and I quit asking because they told me to quit. But I asked, why me? Why little me? I'm no, I'm not anybody special, but apparently He chose me for some reason. So.
Well, and it sounds like it's in the family line as well. So
yes, ma'am.
Not just you.
Yes, my mom's a healer, but she doesn't do it like I do it. She just uses it for family and stuff. But she hasn't learned how to use it. I'm not a healer. I mean, I can heal energy, but I'm not able to heal like she does.
Right.
So,
wow.
Yes, ma'am.
That's pretty cool.
I love what I do. I want to stay humble at it. I don't want to be someone that's doing it. I'm not doing it for a living. I'm doing it to help people. I have a job that where it makes a living for me. This is for me to be able to help people, because that's what I want to do, is help people that need help.
Yeah.
So
So if someone is interested in having a reading, do you advise them to just come with an open mind and see what the message is, or to come with a specific thing they want to know about?
I always, when I start out the reading, I ask them, which, if they have questions, if they want to touch base on, I tell them that, I give them the option of giving me their questions. I always tell them to keep them very basic. I don't want any leading information, because I want to see what spirit brings in. I
Right.
just want them to give me. Now, there's some people that sit down and just want to know in general what they need to know. And so I always give them that option in the beginning, because if they have questions, I want to see if they're supposed to have a message for those questions before I start giving them what I'm getting. And then as we go on, once we get what I'm able to give them about their questions, then I'll go into, and I tend, even though I set appointments for a certain time, I always tend to go over. My husband's like, I thought that was going to be a 30-minute reading, and it's almost 45 minutes to an hour. And I'm like, so if the message is there coming in, I'm not stopping. And
Right.
I don't tend to charge extra if it's like 10 or 15 minutes over or whatever. I'm very humble. I want to stay humble. And sometimes you can't cut spirit off. If there's a message
Right.
coming in, that's what they're supposed to get. So
Right.
I have a real hard time cutting things off. So
Well, it
you
sounds
never know.
like you really love your work.
I do. And I started out with the fairs doing 15 minutes. 15 minutes doesn't give you much time. So
Yeah.
I've upped mine to 20 minutes. And, sometimes that even isn't enough time. So once the timer goes off, if we're not at the message, I always give them an option. Do you want to do another 20 minutes to continue, or would you like to wait till a later date and get back with me?
Right.
I have an email. They can email me on to set up an appointment, but I've been getting so much spam on the email. It's hard to keep up with the appointments. So I do have a phone number. I've got a business card. I have a private group. It's Where Angels Tread with Cherokee Lightsky on Facebook. And then I have my personal page on Cherokee Lightsky as well on there. And they can message me through there. If they want to become a part of the group, all they got to do is request to be part of the group. I do lives periodically, which is free of charge. I try to answer as many questions as I can. If there's a lot of people on, I usually can only answer like one or two questions per person, because it's not a full reading. It's, enough to get them moving in the right direction of what they need to know.
Yeah.
But if there's not a lot of people, and it kind of varies, it depends on the time of day. If it doesn't look like I have a lot on, I let them ask more than one question. But I do tell them, that remember, this is not a full reading. This is to get you headed in the right direction to move forward. So I do those as, like I said, free of charge. I put inspirational things out on the group. My phone number to book a reading is, I don't mind putting it out there. It's 940-567-1576. I ask that you text me first, because due to spam and telemarketers, I do have RoboKiller on my phone, and if I don't have you in my contacts, it won't let it go through. So I always tell people, text me first, and as soon as I have your number, I will contact you back, and we'll discuss it, let you know what I do. I usually send them my bio of how I got started, and then I send them a copy of my blank business card and any other information that they want to know. So that's usually how I have people contact me, is through my phone number.
Okay.
It's just a lot easier, because I've been trying to keep that email cleaned out, and it's almost crazy to try to find emails, because there's so much spam. And I'm like, how did they get my email?
Right. Oh, I know. It's something else.
I apologize if you can hear my Winnie dog whining. He's a whiner. He's wanting up my lap. He likes to stay in my lap when I'm sitting down. So if y'all hear him, I apologize.
He's like, I want to be on the video.
Yeah, he's like, Mom, I want your lap. I'm like, no, get down.
Animals are awesome. They like to be involved, I tell you.
Oh, absolutely. I have two Winnie dogs. Actually, the one that's whining belongs to my grandson that I was talking about earlier. And of course, he's at school. And both, one's short hair, one's long hair, and they think they've got to be up with me. And they are very sensitive. They know when I'm doing readings and loved ones' spirits step in. They see them.
Yeah.
And they're just like, who's in our house? Like, it's okay. It's okay. So it's real funny because animals are so sensitive to things too. And
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
very protective.
they are. They are. Oh my gosh. And they like to contribute their energy. I think that they,
Oh,
when they
absolutely.
want to be involved, it's also because they have something to contribute energetically.
Yes, ma'am. One of them, the little short-haired one, she is actually the granddaughter to one that I just lost a little over a year ago. And that little dog, her name was Halo, and she was so intuitive, and she knew when things before I would. Sometimes she'd know the spirit was coming in, or
Oh,
she
wow.
would sense things. And this people are going to think I'm crazy when I say this, but I think sometimes she was talking to me telepathically because I would start getting stuff and I'm like, this is not from my spirit guide. This is not from my angels. And I'd look at her and she'd look at me and you could tell in her eyes, hey, Mom, I'm sending you a message here.
Uh-huh.
And she was very, very intuitive,
Oh,
more than
wow.
these other two that are with me.
That's so
So,
cool. I love it.
yes, ma'am. I'm very big. I love animals. I love to be outside and listen to the birds and walk around. My husband gets mad at me. He's like, quit walking around outside barefoot. And I'm like, but we re-energize that way. You're going to
Mhm.
get foot rot. But he's a cowboy and, we lived on a ranch for many years. And he's like, you're going to get something walking around. I said, leave me alone. I'm fine. I'm being protected. I'm re-energizing. And he's watched me and he knows what I do. He's
Mhm.
skeptical at sometimes, but he knows that I've told him things that come true and he's just in awe. But he'll see me walk around and hug a tree and he's like, what are you doing? The neighbors are going to see you. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm hugging a tree. So just leave me alone.
Right? Oh my gosh. How
So,
fun.
but that's how I work. And I love meeting new people, whether it be, through Facebook, FaceTime on my iPhone, or just speaking to people. I have
Mhm.
people all over the place. I have clients and what I call friends now because I've made friends with a lot of them.
Yeah.
New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, down in Florida now. My furthest client is in Spain.
Oh, wow.
And so I have met a lot of people, and some of them I can't wait to meet them in person. And I feel like one of these days, that the Great Spirit of God, He will make sure that happens. So
Mhm.
I know He's sending me down a new path. I'm just waiting to see what He's got in mind because I've already been being told, get ready, something big's coming. So I'm like, okay,
Oh,
I'm ready.
wow.
Just tell me what I need to do and how I need to get there.
Good advice for us all.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. But no, I love what I do, and I love spirit talking to me and I tell people, remember, I'm just the messenger. So don't
Yeah.
shoot the messenger here. I'm just giving you and anybody that does anything similar to what I do, they know what I'm talking about when I say I hear them and I see things. And it's not like me seeing you or me talking to you. I don't know how to explain it. I have no clue, but it amazes me and keeps me in awe all the time.
Yeah.
And I have a very dear friend that we work a lot to get together. And he's really, his spirituality has really come a long way since we met 3 years ago. And he's got 2 books out and just an amazing person. And every time we talk, we're just in awe of the
Mhm.
messages we get together. And then my cousin also, she does light language. And when we're together, our energy is just amazing. Matter of fact, they've both been out with me on this particular case in Oklahoma. And actually, Tony, my friend he's actually retired police officer from New York City. He was actually at 9/11, and
Mhm.
they're just both amazing at what they do. And when our energies are together, it's crazy. It's just amazing because the energy is so intense and so wonderful. And I
Wow.
already pick up things, but when they're around, it's like we pick up more and more. And
Nice.
we gave law enforcement information. Of course, they can't give us any feedback because it's still an open case.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the bad part about it, is you can give them stuff and they can't tell you, well, is it getting you anywhere? Because,
Right.
it's an open investigation. And, I respect that and I understand that, but it's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard time. Sometimes, sorry, I have to keep my text messages going off.
All right. Well, let's wrap up.
Yes, ma'am. I'm
Friends, I
sorry if
hope
I
that
kept you longer than you planned.
oh, you're good. You're good. That's part of what this is about, is to let folks get to know our service providers a little bit.
Yes,
So friends,
ma'am.
do please come out to our fair, the Galveston Metaphysical and Healing Fair at the Galveston Convention Center on April the 6th from 10 to 8. Cherokee Lightsky will be there, as well as a lot of other amazing people. So come and
Absolutely.
be in the energy, get some information that you've been looking for, and we will see you there. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Sarah.